To show you how I pack multiple orders and multi-card orders on CollX the affordable way, or the fun way. First, I get my supplies together, so I have my envelopes, bubble mailers, card protectors, scissors, painter's tape, the cards I'm packing up, and I print out my labels. And later on, I'll show you what I use these for. First, I cut out my labels. Yes, I know there's easier ways to do it, like get a label printer or all these other things, but I do it the old-fashioned way, and I have a little bit of fun with it. Next, I put the cards with the label of who they're going to. I double check on my CollX Sales tab to make sure the right cards are going to the right person and that I have all the right cards. Next up, I tape my labels to the envelopes. Depending on the size of the order, depends on the size of the envelope that I use. For single card orders with just one top loader, I like to use these little ones. I bought a box from the dollar store for like literally $1 and they work great every time. Never got any bad feedback about them. I've never had any returned. Especially when you're using tape to tape your labels on, you want to have a good presentation, so get a nice clean piece of tape. Make sure there's no dirt or hair under the tape. I think the best thing being known for in the card community is having good packaging and good presentation on your packages. For these labels, I always use bubble mailers. Technically, you can use whatever you want, like a box or something like that, but I always use bubble mailers. They're lightweight, they have a little bit of extra protection, which is always important when shipping cards. For higher price cards like this Royal Blue Ellie de la Cruz, I like to use full-size envelopes. Gives you a little bit of extra room to add a little bit of extra protection. Next, I like to use old blaster boxes to make card protectors. I used to buy those on Amazon and eBay, but it can get pricey when you sell a lot of cards. So what I do is I cut up the blaster boxes to make my own. I like to always throw a piece of tape over the top of the top loader. Kind of keeps the card in place. I've gotten a card before in an envelope where the card came out of the top loader. So just a little piece of painter's tape. Always use painter's tape. Scotch tape is really hard to take off. I rip off 4 pieces for the card protectors and just gently put it right over the edges. Don't do it too tight, not too loose. For this bubble mailer, these aren't super expensive cards. 2 of them are pretty nice, so I use 2 top loaders. I'm going to tape them together. It can get pretty pricey when you have larger orders, and you know it's tough to give out a top loader for every card, especially if the card is only worth $1 or so. So in this case, I think this was maybe a $10 or $15 order altogether. I'll just tape them together nice and gently. Never had any issues with that. Never had any buyers say anything about it. Since it's in a bubble mailer, you get a little bit of extra weight, so I'm going to throw another set of card protectors around this one just to make sure that it gets there nice and safe. Next, just throw her in there and seal her up, and I always put a piece of tape over the flap just to protect any tampering or water damage in the crease there. I know a lot of you might say there's quicker ways to do this, there's easier ways to do it, but this is the way I like to do it. And I've never gotten any bad feedback about it, so until my volume of sales go up, this is probably the way I'm going to do it. It's really therapeutic for me, and one of my favorite parts of card collecting is packing them up and making a nice personal package for whoever wanted to buy my cards. For cards like this, it's like a $1 card. Really doesn't need any extra protection. I think I literally sold this for 50 cents, so I'll just throw a piece of tape over the top loader, throw it in a small envelope, and it'll be on its way, no problems. For a card like this is my blue Ellie. I'm gonna throw a little bit of extra protection on this one. I think I'm gonna use another blaster box. In a way, I see this as recycling. If you buy a lot of cards from hobby stores or retail, you know how quickly pack wrappers and boxes can add up and create a lot of trash. So now I just try to make my own card protectors out of them. So now that was the last pack. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 orders all packaged up in just a few minutes time. Next thing you do is the best part, which is throw it in the mailbox and put the little red flag up. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about my process and make sure you follow me on CollX.